everybody, Chris here, and I want to give you an idea, a concept that a student of mine just left, and I was talking about how I feel like I was taught not purposely incorrectly, but missing a huge key to playing music and playing scales, especially scale practice. Okay, so we're going to get to that in just a minute. Let me show you in case you really want to learn what I just played at the outset. I'm using a technique in flamenco we call Picado, where we're doing alternating index, middle finger walking with our picking hand, okay? Just walking with our index, middle finger, and they are rest strokes. So as I am picking, I'm following through to the next string, following through, resting my fingers on the next string, okay? So if you're brand new to this and this is your first video watching me or watching anything about flamenco and you want to do what I just did in the beginning, then I would just practice out on an open string, any open string, okay? As far as placement and stuff, I have other videos on that. I'll put links as far as more technique on that if you want to get into it, okay? But the scale, we're going to start on the second string, 0, 1, 3. Then go to the second, or first string rather, and play 0, 1, 3, 1, 0. Go back to the second string, play 3, 1, 0, 1, 3, 1, 0. Then play 2, 0 on the third string. And then on the fourth string, we're going to play 3, 2, 0, 2, 3, 2. Then I played the low E string, and then I played an E major chord, but with a flat 9, an added flat 9, okay? So I have this E major chord. What you can do is just bring out your third finger to the third fret of the fourth string. If that doesn't feel comfortable for you, you don't have to use that finger. You can use your pinky, okay? And then we're just gonna strum down there, and I'm using my thumb for that low E, and then that strum through of that chord. So that whole thing, again, slow. Et voila, okay? We have the little scale with a chord. And that's really what I want to talk about, is playing the context of the scale that you're playing. As diligent guitarists, we get a scale pattern, and we start the scale pattern, and generally it starts on the 6th string and ends on the 6th string. And I am very guilty of this as a young guitar player, not my current, I'm a young guitar player still. But anyway, as my younger self, I would get a scale pattern, and I thought, well, I have to play all the notes. So this E Phrygian scale that I'm playing, which I'll leave a link for how to play that too, the whole thing, but from the low E to the high E. A lot of patterns you'd see a diagram and it would show, and I wish I was fancy enough to be able to put a diagram, have it magically appear on the screen. But I play guitar, I'm not a technical computer guy, okay? I'm lucky I know how to use my phone. All right, so we go. So you'll see the pattern, and it starts on that low E, and generally for this particular pattern, it would end on this G. And so that's what we do. We practice it until we get to that G, and then we start it there, and then go all the way down. Well, it's called an E Phrygian scale. And so it will really bring out the Phrygianness, feel free to steal that word, the Phrygianity of that scale by playing the E chord. Now, we have some other tricky elements, and maybe some music theorists are going to go, well, it should be an E minor chord that goes with it. That would be truly diatonic to the key. But we're doing flamenco, and in flamenco, that E Phrygian goes with an E major chord. There's other really cool stuff that we can talk about in another video, but I don't want to overwhelm us, okay? Just play the E major. Play that scale. Always end on the E, and play an E major chord, and now all of a sudden you magically have a flamenco, a Spanish guitar sound, okay? And so normally, again, that would be an E minor chord, but because of the E major chord, that's what makes it sound more Spanish guitar sounding, okay? So the reason I played that intro phrase is because I wanted to stop on this low E, and I want to show you this and get this in your mind so that from now on, you will always learn a scale and pair it with a harmony that it should go with. Yeah. Now, pretty much every scale has a matching harmony for every single step in that scale. So there would be an E chord, an F chord, some kind of G chord, some kind of A, some kind. Okay. But to start out, I would just recommend playing the root of that scale. Okay. So we have this E. This is an E Phrygian scale, so we're going to start on that E. But the next E we get to, this E, the second fret of the fourth string, D, E. It's a D string, this is an E. Now I want you to play an E major chord, or you can add that E flat 9. Ooh, nice. So try that as a little partial scale. It's actually the full E Phrygian scale. Yeah. Wow. Descend from there. Now start from here, start from that E, and continue the scale. Go to that E, play the E major chord, or the E with the add flat 9, or descend from that. Then you can do fancier stuff. You don't necessarily have to start on the E, but I highly recommend you close it with it so you feel some sense of resolve. So the phrase that I played in the beginning starts on the B. And it resolves. You feel that tension. And the feel of resolve. The feel of arriving and feeling like you're at home. Okay? And that's the magic of really practicing scales well that will actually serve you. You'll start using your ear instead of making it just a physical endeavor, which the physical endeavor part of guitar, that's one of the things I teach my students, is that guitar is a physical endeavor. There's all kinds of things that we have to do to train our hands to be able to get what we want out of the instrument. There's both immediate physical skills, and then there's all kinds of other skills that you have to be able to build endurance. And then we have to work on our longevity as guitarists as well. Okay? So learn this opening little phrase. I've changed it a little bit. And then mess with it. Okay? Start on another note, but always end on that E and play that E chord. And then this is going to kind of give you that ability to create little melodic phrases on your own. See what happens. Okay? For the next example, what I'm going to do is point you to a video called the Malaguena, and it has a melody that goes not only with that chord, but it's using the scale, but it goes to other chords too, okay? And then you'll be able to hear how that scale, it's all the same scale, but by pointing to different landing points within the scale, it's going to point to different harmonies, okay? That is really where the rubber meets the road as far as understanding how music works, how scales and harmonies, the chords, work together and creating beautiful music. And then you can create your own, maybe. I don't know if you have the creative spirit in you, or you just want to learn other people's music, which is great too. But this at least will give you that opportunity to feel like you have a destination point and have some momentum in one way or another as far as just playing a scale. It's like you learn a scale, now what do you do with it? Whether or not you play with a band or create a full song, it's nice to be able to play, like if we learn just this partial. Now break that up into little parts. Mess with it from there. Okay, so that will give you some ideas and possibly help you create some of your own original music. All right, Let me know if you have any questions. Again, this material is going to be available for my Patreon subscribers. Would love to see you there. And this video is brought to you by my Patreon subscribers. Thank you to all of you for your support in all of what I do. Next, I do want to share with you that E Phrygian scale. I have that as part of my daily dozen, so make sure to pick that up. It's free. You can download the PDF and get that, plus a whole bunch of other exercises and techniques and tips. So make sure to get that and stay in touch. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave comments and share this all over the world and all that stuff. I super appreciate your support. And until next time, be well. Bye-bye.